Today we're in northeast Arkansas on a duck hunt, and I mean we're at the northeast part of Arkansas. Missouri's just like right over there. Matter of fact, I think some of our shot may land in Missouri when we shoot in that direction. But here with my two buddies with Fields of Gold Outfitters. I got Grant Howe here, got Zach Combs down there. We're just out here having some fun. Waterfowl hunting. I think if you Google waterfowl hunting in the definition for waterfowl hunting, Arkansas's got to be in there. There's every species of duck that I've ever heard of. This place is amazing. There's nothing like it. Where we're hunting is Noble, Arkansas. That's with a K, Noble, Arkansas, and we're staying at a place called the Quack Shacks. It's simplistic, but it's perfect for a hunting place. Very accommodating, the beds are comfortable, got a full kitchen, got a grill so that you can cook out, fire pit to enjoy at night. And Noble is not a big place. It's very small. I mean, there's the Noble Grocery, which is actually also the gas station and the laundromat and everything else. And there's a lot of trains that come back and forth. Is that bad? Can you hear? No. All right, here we go. I only thought he blew it 3 times. 5, 6, the train's fixing to blow its horn. 7. We're here in Noble, Arkansas, which is the traffic capital of the state. Okay, there's not a lot here, but I'm telling you, it's a place you need to visit. Got a couple of buddies here, Grant Howe and Zach Combs, and just 2 great guys that they're farmers, they're rice farmers, but they also guide. They have a service called Fields of Gold, and they're brothers, but just 2 local guys. They love duck hunting with a passion.
We farm about 2,500 acres, about 20 miles north of Paragould. We grow rice, corn, soybeans. We met Craig last year goose hunting, and he gave us a call
and said, hey, can we get in on duck hunt?
They said, yeah, man, we got ducks, but the season's about to go out.
We said meet us down at our grain bins a little after noon. We hopped on a tractor that we go out to our blind with.
One of the coolest things that happened on this trip was, I mean, it's sort of one of those things. You got a couple of farm boys that get snowed in and don't have a lot to do or iced in.
The tractor is not your normal setup, not your normal rig to get to the pit with.
They look at what they're having to deal with and how they can make it better. Well, they always have used traditionally an Argo to take you out to a pit blind because you're going through water and through a rice field and all that kind of stuff. But it wasn't all that convenient. These guys took a farm implement that draws tarps. It's basically a big platform that goes on the back of a tractor, and they adapted it to a carrier for all of us.
We've took a Case 5240 and we've kind of, and an old spill puller on the back of it, and we've kind of modified it, put a bench on it, a gun rack.
It had steps to walk up in there, plenty of space for your gear. There was a whole area on the back to hold decoys and then hang your ducks when you're coming back in. It was kind of like a ride at Disney World. You get in it when it's on the ground and they bring you up to the top. Carry you out across the water and then literally lower you down at the blind so you step out off the step into the pit. And I'm telling you, let some farm boys with some ingenuity and a welding torch and some wood, they'll come up with something really awesome.
We headed on out there. We didn't really know what to expect, but you know, being from where we're from, might as well go, you know.
Can't kill them from the couch.
Yeah. You could be hunting in the morning, not fire a shot, and hunt that afternoon and shoot your limit. You know, you just never know in Arkansas, so.
We had a gut feeling, kind of. We knew there was a cold front coming in this night and thought, well, there might be a few new birds coming in front of the front. So we kind of had a little high hopes for the afternoon hunt.
Ultimate Outdoors is brought to you by Southern Company. Energy to serve your world. Jeb's Precision Choke Tubes. We stock the flock. Cogger Arms. Custom comes standard. ESE Networks, the premier platform for all your live and on-demand video needs. And YouOutdoors.tv, the ultimate outdoors online television network.
One of the other cool things is that now we're working with Jeb's Chokes, and so Bobby Sears, the owner, I told him where I was going and told him what I was going to do, so he sends me out 3 chokes. So I typically use this, what they call close range, which is an improved cylinder. But I'm in Arkansas now hunting a flooded rice field. So which one should I be going with today?
For you, I'd probably stick that one right there in my gun, the long one.
Long range,
Yeah.
10-4. That's what we're going with then. We finally decided on the long range
just
choke,
need to get the
and
ducks.
tell you, it did the job. It knocked the ducks down.
We were just getting to the pit and just starting to get set up. A couple gadwall come in and worked right in.
Shoot the duck.
We knocked down one of those right off the bat, so we kind of had a pretty good sense of how the afternoon was going to be. With the wind blowing, there was some lag where there weren't many birds flying. And during one of those lags, we were just sitting in the blind, just cutting up, chatting.
Out here you can see how it actually works, because you've got ducks flying in that direction. You guys start calling, next thing you know, they turn around and they come back. It's so cool to watch these guys work ducks. I mean, when we're hunting in Georgia and we're in timber and wood duck hunting, I mean, they're basically zooming in, you're calling them, but you don't really get to see them work because of the trees. Out here on a rice field, you can see them for a quarter mile away. And to watch those ducks respond to the call, it's truly amazing. You actually get to watch them work the whole spread, because these ducks don't just come in. They're going to check it out. I mean, they've been coming down. I'm sure they've been shot at. I'm sure they've been called to, and I've seen a lot of decoys.
By the time they get down here, they've seen just about everything, so they're real cautious about when they go down to sit.
Sure.
Even during the hunt, they're watching how the ducks are responding. And if the ducks aren't doing what they want the ducks to do, they go out and make little adjustments. I mean, they'll move 2 here, 3 here, sometimes they'll move 20.
On any given hunt, I'm probably going to move decoys probably 20, 30 times, just depending. I mean, if they're not finishing as close as I think they should, we're going to be moving decoys, taking robos out, putting them in, whatever it takes to get these birds as close as possible. That's what we're going to do.
You guys had a lot in the middle a little while ago, and then you went out and, I guess, cut a path down the middle of it. I mean, why'd you guys do that?
Well, they weren't really responding to any form, shape. They were just sitting right outside the decoy. So that's why at the beginning when we kind of just had a wad of them out there. But after seeing a few groups work, they just wouldn't quite finish. So we thought we'd kind of make them kind of like a landing strip, a zone for them to kind of focus on to go to.
The other thing I found out about out here is just you never quit looking.
Yeah.
Because I mean it doesn't. I don't care if it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, ducks still work.
They'll sneak in on you
Yeah.
if you're not paying attention. We look over our right shoulder and we just got buzzed on by 2 ducks.
You're going to always set up the spread. Here's 2 right here.
First, we had no idea what they were.
And Grant, he is pretty good at recognizing birds. He said those are canvasback.
Get ready right here.
Shoot him! Good shot. We got 2 canvasbacks.
Just like I said, you never know what we're gonna kill. I have never killed a canvasback.
Here's a guy in Arkansas, Grant, who has lived here his whole life and duck hunted since he was a small child. He's never killed one, never seen one, and 2 canvasbacks just buzzed us.
They worked around one time and
Called them back, came around, and sure enough, you talk about a kid in the candy store. Grant hops up. I mean, he didn't wait for anybody to call. He jumps up and boom, he kills the first one.
we ended up knocking both of them down. They were both drakes, so that was another big cool thing about it,
I've been hunting that field for 15 years and never even seen one out there. Never been on a hunt where one was killed. So when I saw them turning that light, I got all giddy and excited. And when we knocked them down, like I said, I've never killed one, never been on one, so I was excited.
Woo!
Very cool. It turned out to be a pretty good hunt. We didn't pound on them by any means, but if you kill one, in my eyes, you know, it's a good day.
It started out a little slow, but towards the end of the day, it picked up and turned out to be a real successful hunt. Really enjoyed it.
I mean, I can't tell you how much fun it was. To be in a blind with two buddies, no worries, and you don't have guests or clients or anything else there, just out there having a good time and enjoying what God has created for us and looking at all this wildlife. I mean, I had a great time.
What's up, y'all? My name's Hunter Strickland, right-handed pitcher for the San Francisco Giants down here in Noble, Arkansas. Just got finished up hunting this morning with Craig Holloway with Ultimate Outdoors.
So I'm here in Arkansas, and I'd already been duck hunting with my buddies, Grant and Zach, and I get a phone call from Hunter Strickland. He's the right-handed pitcher for the San Francisco Giants. He and his brother Rhett have come out with an entire line of waterfowl gear. It's called AV's Hunting, which is what I'm wearing right here. And I'm telling you, these guys have put a lot of thought into this product.
My brother and I started this company about 2 years ago. We're actually designing and developing all waterfowl hunting clothing and all your accessories and all the gear that you will need for waterfowl hunting. So we're here in Arkansas for the Wings Over the Prairie Festival, where they have the big duck gumbo cook-off, and they have the world's duck calling competition and everything. So this was a huge opportunity for us to be in Arkansas and really target that duck hunting crowd.
It's the last day. It's the last day before the split. This is the end of November, the weekend after Thanksgiving, and I'm like, well, come on.
So we stayed an extra day after the event and just got done with that hunt, and it was absolutely amazing.
We were in a pit blind hunting over a rice field, flooded rice field this morning. Did pretty well. We saw a lot of birds.
We didn't necessarily limit out, but the birds are kind of working back and forth right now.
Mixed bag, some mallards, sprigs, a few teal.
Hunter and his brother show up last night, and they're fired up. I'm fired up.
We met up a set of our grain bins, met with them, introduced everybody, and hopped on the tractor and headed out to the pit.
There's a lot of different experiences coming out here in Arkansas, and it was pretty funny. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of different ways to hunt, a lot of different ways, obviously, we found out this morning to actually get to the pit blind. We're used to, if it's on a levee, we're used to, walking the whole levee or riding a Ranger or Argo or something out there. Well, the guys that we're hunting with today just, they really stepped it up a notch. They got a big machine on the back of a tractor, and it lifts you up. You got 6 or 8 guys sitting there with all your guns, in the rack, and they just drive you out there straight to your pit, and you're above the water and everything.
This morning, shooting hours came in about 6:19. We worked a few ducks right before the time, and right as the time came in, we had one lone single mallard coming in the hole. Here they come.
Grant goes, okay, man, there's a shooting light, and literally he says that, and all of a sudden we got a set working. These ducks are flying around, and out of the blue, here comes this solo mallard just rolling right on into the spread.
It is actually coming through on the right side of the blind, and Hunter was all the way to the left side beside me. So we flip up, and all of us on the right side, we had a bunch of brush in front of us and couldn't shoot it.
Coming right over. Guy's like, shoot that duck. Well, there's a bush in front of me, and in front of Rhett, and in front of Grant. And so the guy on the left of the blind was Hunter, and the duck was coming on the right. And everybody's got their gun, but you can't see.
I started calling the shot right off the bat, and nobody would shoot, and I just kept calling it, shoot that duck, shoot that duck.
Shoot him, shoot him. Nobody was pulling the trigger. I guess there was a couple of, some brush in front of some guys, and so sure enough, I'm gonna shoot, and was fortunate enough to drop that one.
It was a great way to start the morning. I didn't know how it was going to end. Either he was going to miss as the only guy who shot, and we were going to be able to rag him for the rest of the day, or he was going to kill the duck. And man, he absolutely knocked it out of the sky.
It was really cool to see the dog work. Dog worked, really, really well. Went out there, picked it up, brought it right back to the owner, and it was a really good experience that way, just, right there at daylight.
Zach had his dog there, and Rocky was just, he's a pup. He's 3 years old and self-trained, but man, he did such a great job. And that's a lot of the fun in duck hunting, to me anyway, is watching the dogs work, listening to the guys call, watching ducks work, and watching the dog work. The dog goes out there, picks it up, and we started out the day on a high note.
Ultimate Outdoors is brought to you by Southern Company, energy to serve your world. Jeb's Precision Choke Tubes, we stock the flock. Fogger Arms, custom comes standard. ESE Networks, the premier platform for all your live and on-demand video needs. And YouOutdoors.tv, the ultimate outdoors online television network.
Let's check in with our partners at Southern Company and take a look at some of their conservation efforts as they strive to protect and preserve our great outdoors. Southern Company and the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation have worked together for more than 16 years to meet critical conservation needs. It's an important partnership that has funded more than 300 projects to restore, sustain, or improve more than 1.7 million acres of habitat, including the iconic, once prevalent, longleaf pine ecosystem. One example is along the Chattahoochee Fall Line region of West Georgia and East Alabama. The longleaf pine forests are a vital part of the entire southern United States ecosystem. A large variety of wildlife, some which are endangered, depend on the longleaf pine for habitat and survival. Longleaf forests require frequent fire to flourish. Prescribed burning or controlled fires eliminate the unwanted brush and debris in a longleaf forest. The Longleaf Stewardship Fund, started by Southern Company, is a financial grant program focused on restoring this habitat unique to the southeastern U.S.
All these teams are working in the historic range of the longleaf pine to conserve it, to restore it, and to manage it. And so our team, our focus area is here in West Georgia and East Alabama, and the name of the partnership is the Chattahoochee Fall Line Partnership because we're working where the watershed of the Chattahoochee River and the Fall Line intersect. Our partnership was created in 2011, and we have a steering committee of 9 different organizations that were already doing longleaf work in this region. And by working together, we're able to strategically plan, strategically utilize resources, both time and funding, so we're more effective with conservation outcomes here across the Fall Line region.
Wise management practices, such as prescribed burns, are another example of ways we can help preserve and protect our wildlife and the habitat that sustains them.
When it depletes all of the timber in that area, it also depletes the habitat and ecosystems for the wildlife that live there. So it's very important to try to reestablish that and continue the management objectives that we use with longleaf, which is the burning frequently, much more frequently than you do with loblolly or slash. And the burning causes vegetation to be on the ground and at a low level for those gopher tortoises and other animals that desperately need that type of forb and vegetation to eat. So being able to have a fire-dominant tree species then helps the vegetation, which then helps the wildlife we're trying to save.
Southern Company and the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation are making a difference for the Southeast longleaf pine and conservation challenges. Giving Mother Nature a helping hand can help safeguard wildlife for future generations. Thanks, Southern Company, for your outstanding efforts in conservation. Let's get back to the action with Wayne Pearson's Ultimate Outdoors.
So we started off the morning, on a high note, and I'm like, hey man, this is all good, let's see what happens next. And then you all of a sudden get that magic moment. I mean, like the money shot.
It's like you drew it up and they read the script. I mean, they come straight in. I think there was 8 in the group.
We worked them for, seemed like 10 minutes or longer, but I'm sure it wasn't that long.
Finally got them committed. They locked up, feet out, and wings cupped.
Man, I'm just saying, when you see that, your heart starts going.
I mean, it was exactly what you want to see. You're sitting in a pit and they're coming right into the, into the middle of your spread.
They came in with their landing gear down and we called the shot.
We pop up and we knock 3 of them out of the sky real quick.
Anybody can work ducks and get them 30, 40 yards out and shoot them on a pass, but what we really go for is trying to get them all the way in where they want, right there in our hole.
That's why we're here. That gives you the chills, that gives you the excitement of when you see them birds committed.
That's why you come to Arkansas. I mean, to see that. You don't see that every day.
That's what you keep going for. We're not really going out there to hunt the birds. We're going out there to hunt that hunt. That's what you want. You're hunting that particular scenario, and we're lucky enough this morning to have it, work out perfectly for us.
We did have a little break, and I started asking the question to these guys about, I thought they're camo, but it's not camo. It's a whole line of waterfowl gear.
The name of the camo is Avi's Refuge, and we actually designed it ourselves. We actually took a mallard hen and a Canadian goose wing and just overlapped the different feathers and whatnot.
We actually designed it from the drone, because everybody, once they come up with a new camo, and certain aspects it's okay, certain types of hunt it's okay to take a picture from a human's perspective, but for waterfowl, There's no point in taking a picture of your buddy standing in the marsh 20 feet away because that's not what the birds are seeing.
Even the gunsling that they're coming out with, I'm sitting over there unhooking mine, unscrewing, and there's unclips, and they're done. They're ready to go. Hey, the ducks have cooperated so far.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm looking forward to finding a few more. It's time to quit talking and start hunting.
Sounds good to me.
Arkansas is just a special place in its own. It's really nice to be able to get out there and experience that because you're down on, you know, eye level with the water, and you're able to look up and you just got hundreds of birds working on top of you, and you see that one start, you know, committing to the hole. And once they do commit to the hole, then you jump up and, you know, you're able to take them that way.
You know, that's something that it kind of gives me chills to think about and, you know, to watch. They definitely recommend you bring your snacks because you're gonna put in your time. You know, I think these boys out here are pretty lucky to have the opportunity to hunt all day and to see these birds work the way they are.
And I'm just telling you, if you've never experienced waterfowl hunting in Arkansas, you need to. You need to. Put it on your bucket list, put it on your calendar. You need to come here and do this.
This week on Ultimate Outdoors.
Oh, there's a hit! Oh! Just started out with the 4-pounder.
Another Marabou Ranch gorilla.
Man, that's a beautiful fish.
Thank you, brother. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. This is awesome.